All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you again for joining us today. My name is Carolina. I'm part of the team here at Rakuten Super Logistics. I'll be moderating today's event. I'm very excited to present the 2017 Holiday Fulfillment webinar. Today we'll be sharing some strategies implemented by both our team here at Rakuten Super Logistics and our clients in other areas of their business. And we really believe it's not too late to apply these strategies to your own business for a successful Q4. First, just a little bit of housekeeping. Don't forget, following the presentation, we will be having a live Q&A. So if you haven't submitted your questions already, you can tweet your questions using the hashtag RSL Holidays or by using the chat feature in your WebEx control panel. We'll also be putting together a nice recording for you so that you can share it with other members of your team, friends, colleagues, anyone who you think might find value from today's discussion. Presenting today, we have Mary Marriott, VP of Operations, Michael Manzioni, CEO of RSL, and Jim Gardner, our Strategic Account Executive. Our panel will be covering today's agenda, which covers the key strategies to lower shipping costs and meet holiday deadlines, strategies to compete with Amazon and other e-commerce giants, and how to attract and keep loyal customers past their holiday purchases. First, I'd like to introduce Mary Marriott. She leads the warehouse operations, our client services, and our finance teams at Rakuten Super Logistics. An entrepreneur at heart, her experience really comes from running her own businesses in the past, both in retail and services. Now, when she's not running business, she enjoys traveling and keeping up with the Broncos. Mary, please take it away.
Thank you, Carolina. I am an avid Bronco fan, and I would love to talk about the football season, but we're here to talk about holiday season, and it's fast approaching. What we see with most e-commerce retailers is the success of a holiday season can make or break the entire year. It can determine the profitability of some companies. Preparing and having a solid strategy going into the holiday season is crucial for the success of the season. The top goal of the holiday season is to get customers to complete the sales transaction. You want to have the products and the offers that will make your customers cash out their shopping cart. What can persuade your customers? In our research, we found 9 out of 10 customers say that free shipping is the #1 incentive to making a purchase. So how do you plan for that? How can you afford it? Shipping can be expensive. We're going to review a few things that can assist you in offering free shipping while minimizing your costs. Evaluate your packaging materials used to ship out your product. Does your product require a box, or can a polybag or bubble mailer be used? Reducing the weight of your shipments can make a significant difference. We suggested to one of our clients to change their packaging materials from a small box to a polybag, and it saved them 53 cents a shipment. When shipping thousands of orders, the savings adds up. Is your product oversized? If you have large product, be mindful of the size of box that is being used and minimize dimming out. All carriers calculate weight by calculating the dimensional weight versus the actual weight, and they will charge you whichever is higher. Try to avoid dimensional weight if possible. Another factor to consider is lower variable costs. Understand your product cost versus the shipping cost. If you have a low-priced item, it may not make sense to offer free shipping if the shipping costs are going to eat up most of your profit. You also can modify your pricing by building the shipping cost into the handling fee if you have one. We've seen the lower the cost of the product, the less likely the demand is for fast transit time, so you may be able to use a low-cost shipping method. The closer it gets to Christmas, the cost of shipping will be higher to secure delivery by December 24th. Be aware of the cutoff dates for ground services that will ensure delivery by Christmas. DHL Smart Mail Parcel is December 11th, and FedEx Ground, UPS Ground and SurePost, and USPS First Class is December 14th. Think about the 80-20 rule. Keep the top 20% of your moving SKUs in multiple facilities. You can utilize at least a West Coast and East Coast location, and it will reduce your transit time and shipping costs that could affect 80% of your overall sales. We conducted a shipping analysis for our client and determined if they added an additional location, they would save over 6% on shipping costs and decrease the transit times by almost 2 days. As you are creating your marketing plan, think about offering shipping promotions. Plan your marketing spend to begin 1 or 2 weeks before the holiday season. You can target Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Green Monday, which is the second Monday in December. These are the top 3 selling days of the entire holiday season. You can also offer unique daily specials. Entice clients to order early to avoid delay in delivery and higher shipping costs. The goal would be to capture your sales so there's ample time for your shipments to be delivered to your customers by using a low-cost shipping method. As you get close to Christmas, offer post-holiday teasers. Think about extending your holiday sales past Christmas without having brick-and-mortar locations. Create your own excitement and frenzy on your website that is seen in the malls on December 26th. Also have a clear expectation set on your website for shipping times and costs. Add additional shipping methods on your website that cater to both free shipping with longer delivery times and fast transit so your customers have options for both. And don't forget to prepare for returns. They will happen. Returns can be regionalized, and you can design a low-cost return system. Benefit from multiple location networks for returns as you do for your outbound orders. Determine where your returns are sent by the locations of the facilities you utilize and your customer's address. Have them return to the closest location to minimize your return shipping cost. Have clear return policies on your website. And arm your customer service team with clear promotions to convince your customers to actually keep the product rather than return it. Good luck this holiday season to everyone, and back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Mary, for sharing those insights to overcoming the obstacles of holiday fulfillment. If you have any questions for Mary, please be sure to submit them at any time during the presentation, and she'll be sure to address them at the end. Next, I'd like to introduce Michael Manzioni. Mike leads the team here with an inverted pyramid approach to leadership. Becoming an entrepreneur at a young age really helped Mike accumulate over 30 years of experience spanning the operations, management, and supply chain fields. Born in Spain and an avid soccer fan, I'm going to assume he's a fan of the Rakuten-sponsored FC Barcelona team. And I'll let him take it from here.
Thanks, Carolina. Happy to see that they are sponsoring soccer, but Barcelona is not my team, unfortunately. Anyway, Amazon continues to dominate and will dominate the e-commerce retail space for years to come. As Amazon continues to grow, it's important to leverage the benefits of Amazon, but to diversify, be proactive, and change as needed. Be nimble. It's critical to build your own brand. So let's look at some ideas and suggestions to level the playing field. Think marketing, because in essence, you are a marketing company. One of the keys to marketing is to offer a unique selling proposition. Make sure you are offering a unique product. New products, products with a twist, old products, modified or reinvented. Remember, products go through cycles. What's old becomes new again. Evolve. Change your products. Next, customized or personalized products work really well and can create a unique experience. It can be an upsell or it can be a product category. Remember, higher cost equals higher margin. Believe it or not, packaging can be a differentiator. A unique, higher price, higher margin products can benefit from an enhanced packaging experience. If you do, make sure you test it. Do some A/B testing to see which packaging works best for your customers. I also strongly recommend that you change it yearly. Another area of success is to be an expert in a product or category. This is a great way to create a niche and following. Blog posts or videos work quite well with this category also. Think of Beer Brand. They became an expert in beers, created videos, created a following. Now they have a lifestyle brand that goes beyond just offering bearded products. Story-based e-commerce sites work well too. They're thriving as customers identify with the people behind the product and are more likely to repurchase. The story can be about the company, People, product, ingredients, or journey. Maybe you sell shoes. Maybe you could talk about how it's made, where it's sourced, how it's designed. In short, stories work well right now. Another strategy is to separate yourself with great customer experience. If you're in retail, think Nordstrom's, or online, think Zappos. They don't compete on price. They sell on a premium service. Another positive trend are socially driven products that tie into a cause or purpose. This has been one of the fastest growing categories in e-commerce site. Another business strategy is a unique continuity program. They're working really well, and even though they are niche driven, the length of time a customer remains is extended. Make sure that you're offering multiple levels or continuity offers at different price points. Good example of that today might be Crave. Next, separate products on your store and Amazon. Your product catalog should not be on Amazon, all on Amazon. Unique offerings, styles, colors, SKUs that are specific to your site will drive the customer back to your site over and over again. One good strategy is to have specific landing pages for specific offers that are easy to attract clients to you, to get to know you, and to buy your product. Make sure your site has unique offers that are, besides just price, there are discounts and give them a motivation to buy from your site. It's critical that once a customer finds you, you give them a reason to come back and share your site with other people. Lastly, another trend that's very popular is to buy a gift and send a gift. At checkout, make it easy for your customer to offer, whether it's the same product or a similar one with a different size or color, to a friend, to a family member. This gives you an opportunity to increase sales and to grow your traffic. Those are some ideas to help you out during the holiday seasons. Carolina, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Once again, if you have any questions for Mike regarding strategies to compete with e-commerce giants and level the playing field, be sure to submit them using the chat feature in your WebEx control panel, or you can submit them via Twitter using the hashtag RSL Holidays. Our final presenter today is Jim Gardner. Jim focuses on finding logistics solutions for enterprise-level e-commerce. His experience comes from the launch of an online surf shop in the early 2000s, and by now you're probably seeing a pattern of entrepreneurship within this company. Jim's focus on e-commerce marketing early on gave him the opportunity to speak at several conferences where he shared strategies that he'll be sharing with us today. Jim's hobbies don't just stop at e-commerce marketing. He's also a lover of golf and old Ford trucks. Jim, take it away.
Thanks, Carolina. What I'll be talking with you guys today is more along the lines of how you can exceed your customers' expectations and connect with them more by having your direct marketing and fulfillment strategies aligned to give you more control over your brand. I'm actually going to start by telling the story of an e-retailer who lost his brand to Amazon. As was mentioned in my bio, I used to work for an online surf shop. Once I left that surf shop, every year I'd buy a new pair of rainbow sandals. In March, as sort of a passing of the season, it became a tradition. I would log on. I loved the branding of the site. I would interact with the brand through social media, even chat with the customer support people. And every year I'd get my flip-flops delivered in a branded poly bag, and it would have a coupon code or some type of incentive to come back and purchase more products. This particular e-retailer was also acquiring customers through multi-channel, affiliate, SEO, and search. They're really leveraging all of their channels to acquire new customers. One year I purchased the product, and instead of it being delivered as normal, it actually came. I bought it. 2 days later, the Amazon truck showed up with an Amazon driver, with an Amazon package. I didn't remember ordering anything from Amazon. I opened it, and there were my flip-flops. So where did this go wrong? What happened here? Prior, the e-retailer was doing a great job of branding, using a third-party fulfillment to deliver the products. I had a connection with that brand, something that I did every year. When they moved towards your multi-channel FBA type solution, more of a convenience thing, because so much of their business is being cannibalized by Amazon, they created this disjointed transaction where I was on their site, interacting with their brand, purchased from their product. The product was delivered by Amazon, and honestly, because of the ease of Amazon checkout and the app, every year since then, I've actually purchased this product through Amazon. So a lot of times just enhancing the customer experience or encouraging repeat buyers is just as simple as having a consistent brand experience. If you're going to promote your unique store experience and have people come in through that acquisition channel and communicate with your brand, then have a branded customer delivery, a branded customer experience. So you just want to keep that consistent so that the consumer's not confused. Back in the early years of using multi-channel, most e-commerce retailers use multi-channel marketplace as a way to acquire customers, where now we're seeing more of a trend with Amazon Checkout, where people are bringing customers into the top of the funnel and actually funneling them down to the marketplace. So what we're sort of encouraging you to do is stay consistent and true to your brand. Another way to increase customer loyalty and repeat purchases is to use one product to acquire that customer, but then use other niche products to continue to entice that customer to buy. In the surf shop industry, what we did to continue to niche down is we tested watches and luggage and sunglasses and boots. We even niched up to the outdoor space, and we sold backpacks and hiking equipment. What was unbeknownst to us is sort of this emerging market that I call sort of the college fashion space, or sort of the party wear. We were located in the panhandle of Florida, right there in the spring break capital, where all these college kids were coming to hang out and enjoy the beach and enjoy spring break. We felt like if we continued to niche out and identify this emerging market, we could have continued to connect with those customers. We could have perhaps spun them off into a different website. And even though we acquired them through the surf and sport industry, we could have created a nice loyal following by continuing to roll out new products and continue to explore new niches. So how do you establish brand loyalty? It's quite simple. You just do all the things that you're supposed to do. So you follow best of breed practices, keeping your brand visible across all your channels. If you're going to do channel marketing, if you're going to sell in those marketplaces, be sure that your message is consistent. Use things like product descriptions, your seller names, seller interactions to create a branded strategy. So even though people are buying from Amazon or eBay, Walmart or Jet, they still know that they're buying from you. And with that, I'm going to kick it back to our moderator here, Carolina.
Thanks, Jim. Now, before we move on into our Q&A, I'd like to recap a few main takeaways from today's presentation. So first, be sure to reevaluate your packaging materials and minimize the total weight of shipment as much as possible. Consider utilizing multiple locations for your top sellers to not only lower your shipping costs, but also reduce your transit time. Diversify your products and change your strategy as needed. Don't become too reliant on Amazon alone. Now, if you do rely on Amazon, be sure to work with a company that specializes in Amazon. Understand your acquisition channels and the importance of your reach outside of multi-channel. Consistent branding across all platforms of customer engagement is important. Don't cut corners. Drive a branded experience through the point of product delivery. Be wary of the convenience of multi-channel FBA. Now with that, let's jump into our Q&A. We do have a few submissions for questions already, so we'll start with those. If you haven't already submitted your questions, be sure to submit them either in the chat on your WebEx control panel, or you can use Twitter with the hashtag RSL Holidays. Okay, here's a good question we can start with. I think this might be from Mary. You mentioned avoiding dim weights. If you're dealing with oversized goods and you can't avoid dim weight, what advice do you have for lowering costs?
That's a great question, because dim weights is a tricky part of shipping out product, and it actually can be very expensive. What we always advise is definitely have more than one location. You want to have at least, like I said earlier, at least an East Coast and a West Coast location. Because that's going to put you in some of the closer zones, which are less expensive, and it is good for transit time for delivery. That's one idea. Another one is also look at your packaging and really be aware if your product is being put in oversized boxes, which is actually something that happens a lot from what we see from competitors, and it's something that we're always trying to improve on internally at RSL. Really make sure that product is snug in the box and use the smallest box as possible to minimize the dim weight.
Great. Thanks, Mary. Here we have one. Are there any promotions that you should avoid during the holidays, like BOGO?
Well, I think that depends on each client and their margins of their product and how much they have in inventory. So you don't necessarily have to avoid a buy one get one per se, but we have seen clients that have oversold their product during the holidays, and it's caused such bad customer experience that it's actually destroyed their brand. So you have to be very, very careful with that. I would make sure that any promotions during the holidays, frankly, are front loaded, and the dollar is spent earlier every year. So I would make sure that you keep that in mind. And it's one that doesn't lower your brand or hurt your brand in the long run.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Someone asks, what is Green Day?
Green Day, well, outside of it being a band, it's also it's a phrase that was coined by eBay, and it's the second Monday of December, and it's actually turned into the third largest holiday season, the third largest day, in the holiday season. And so initially we all hear Green Day and we think it has to do, with the environment, and really I think it's eBay's play on green meaning cash, and that's a great day for e-commerce retailers to really maximize their sales on that day.
Here's a question. Maybe Mike or Jim, you can answer this. What type of loyalty programs have you found to be the most successful?
I'll go first, Jim, if you have anything. I would say the loyalty programs need to always answer the question about why to come back. So you want to make sure that the experience every month or however often you're offering it answers that question and gives the consumer a reason to come back. So whether it's through a monthly continuity program that's theme-based, that offers unique product, or it's discounts or reward points, you always want to make sure you're answering that question. You have to give them a reason to come back and visit you over and over and over again. So make sure you change it up. I think this is a great way of getting feedback from your customers, so you can kind of learn what they want for future offers. And I think it's a good way of building a long client base that kind of repeats itself over and over again. Jim, you have anything you want to add to that?
I'm going to go back to something you mentioned in your discussion, Mike, about giving the client something different when they shop direct with you. And I think one of the best loyalty programs that you can have is just free gifts. Is people purchasing directly from you, including a little something extra in that package, whether it's a free gift, whether it's a bracelet or a hat, a T-shirt, a plush, or some type of a bring back, a coupon, that's aggressive, that's really encouraging repeat purchases. And then also echo what Mary said about post holiday is so many people focus their customer interaction or their acquisition and sales funnels around the holiday season. Post holiday, there's a lot of people bought gift cards, or they got cash, or now they're done buying for others, they want to buy for themselves. So just don't limit your loyalty program to holiday. It's really look post holiday and look lifetime value, and give those customers something that is going to create that brand connection. Yeah,
if I could just reinforce one thing you said there, which I think is spot on. Make sure it's unique to your site. Give them a reason to come back to your site and separate it from Amazon, so there's a reason for them to get to know you, your site, your brand, your product, your customer service, and I think that's the most important thing. You want to own a customer relationship.
Thank you. Another question here. What low-cost carriers do you recommend during the holidays?
I'll take that question. So there's actually several carriers and several methods. But at RSL, our shipping portfolio consists of DHL, SurePost, and USPS first class up to 9 pounds. And after 9 pounds, we usually offer FedEx or UPS. Really, you just want to be mindful of so low cost is important, obviously, but we really keep in mind what their transit time is, because ultimately you want your shipments to get to your customers before December 24th, or you'll definitely hear negative feedback from them.
What are your thoughts on offering gift wrapping to orders during the holidays?
Well, personally, I love opening up a box and having it done. It makes the holiday season so much easier. As a 3PL, we look at how can we do that for our clients and ultimately for their customers. And we offer gift bagging. So if any clients have special bags that they want us to put their product in, we can do that. So your customer at the end opens up that box and the package is ready to go. If you wanted to do gift wrapping, what we suggest is that you can actually include the wrapping inside the shipment. So when it gets to your customer, they don't have to go buy the paper and cut it and figure it all out. The paper's right there. They can easily wrap up the gift and it's good to go.
Yeah, we've actually seen some of our e-commerce retailers use branded wrapping paper, which is a really nice touch.
Great. Let's see. We have one question here. What is the value, or what value do you see in mobile and optimizing for mobile?
I'll start that one. Right now we're seeing probably anywhere between 30 to 50% of all purchases online being done through some type of mobile device. So making sure that your site is optimized for a mobile shopping experience is critical. The ease of being able to maneuver through your mobile site is critical. The ability to have easy and quick downloads, easy checkout is also critical. And you could also maybe even separate that from your website if you wanted to in terms of specific offers that are to mobile also. So mobile is becoming critically important, and we see that growing exponentially over the next few years.
Yeah, on that same topic, the other thing that we're seeing is more of a less traditional e-commerce shopping experience when targeting people on mobile devices, and more of a conversion-driven checkout funnel. I think Michael mentioned offer pages or landing pages in his topic, and that's just more of a directed way to get the customer, on their mobile device to purchase very easily.
Great, thank you. We have another question here about FedEx versus UPS service within USA for deliveries over 9 pounds. What do you think of their service when you compare them to each other within the US? And then second part to that is, do you get fulfillment orders over 50 pounds? If you do, who would you partner with for a carrier?
Good question. So let's address the first piece, FedEx versus UPS. So shipping is becoming a commodity, which we all know, but there are certain differences between the two. We really are a UPS house. We have partnered with UPS primarily and feel that they really give great service in transit times and guarantees. In regards to the service, there's very little difference between the two. So the next part is 50 pounds or over?
Yes.
So again, we are a UPS house, but both of them offer 50 pounds and over. And one of the things with FedEx is that when it gets to your larger volume or you need to go to retailers, their guaranteed transit times can be a little stronger than UPS at times. But overall, I feel that they're very similar. Mike, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would say that depending on where the customer is based that's asking a question, there's also some regional carriers that might play into their solution too that I would suggest that they potentially look at. There's some great regional carriers that potentially can help out that client. So I would certainly suggest them to look at that also.
I want to add that with the 50-pound shipments, I think it's almost imperative that you deploy a multi-facility strategy. We've recently partnered with a couple of companies that have really high-quality nutritional value dog food that are 50-pound bags, and we've recommended they go with a minimum of 3 facilities. So I think that's less of what carrier you use and more of a supply chain strategy.
Yeah, that's great point, Jen.
Thanks, guys. We have a question here about landing pages. I think, Mike, you mentioned something about that. What is the best strategy behind converting a sale through a specific landing page?
Yeah, I think landing pages is a great way to have a multiple channel strategy where you can have singular offers over in specific landing pages that you can try through different channels to see what the conversion rates are. And it's a great way to introduce clients to your product. And so it's a great way of maybe introducing them to a specific item that you're selling. Maybe you're a cosmetics company that has an introductory cosmetics product, and you might want to have that on a specific landing page, drive traffic to that landing page. That the only thing you're selling is that introductory offer. It's an easy way to learn about the product, the company, a quick checkout, and they get to experience your product. And then if they like it, then there's a reason to come back to your website and get to know you better. And we find that if you do that through multiple landing pages and multiple offers, it's a great way to drive traffic to your site.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Here we have a question about expected increases in sales. What can you do as a retailer to help the order fulfillment process go smoothly?
I would say the first and foremost is regular inventory updates. The last thing you want to do is oversell products. Michael mentioned this in his talk, is you don't want to be too aggressive in marketing your product unless you can back that message up with the delivery of the product. So just be sure your stock levels, have regular communication with your warehouse or fulfillment partners. And then also identify those products early on. Anything that's selling well on Black Friday, you may want to go ahead and put a second order or try to replenish very, very quickly. So identify those early runners. Try to beef up that inventory. Have sort of a liquidation or clearance plan after the holiday. But just really keep your eye on the prize and watch that inventory level.
I would. I think that's spot on, and I would add that consider. Well, I just lost my train of thought here. What was the question again?
Holiday.
Oh, on the holiday.
Holiday fulfillment.
Yeah. Consider that there's an actual correlation between the amount of marketing dollars you spend and what channels you use and the actual outcome. And I would suggest that you actually learn both of those things. And if you're doing the fulfillment yourself, make sure that you're ready to fulfill the product. Because so often clients again oversell and they try to fulfill the product and they don't have the manpower and it takes weeks to get the product out. Or if you're using a third-party provider like ourselves, make sure you get that information to your third-party provider. So if you're spending a certain dollar amount and you know what the outcome generally is, there are some numbers that you can predict. Share that information with your third-party logistics provider so they can also staff up properly and serve you better.
Great. Do you ship internationally? If so, is there any specific advice for shipping international in the holidays?
We do ship international, and we use we have different carriers that we use. What I would say is that international, get them out as soon as possible, because domestically we already see the delays just because of the volume. So there's going to be delays on the international as well. So again, going back to like your promotional, looking at the promotions that you're putting out there, try to capture that sale early. So it can, you have different options on the shipping, and because you can actually use cost-effective shipping methods for international, and then of course you can use, express, which is more expensive. So.
All right, I think that's all the questions we have now. If you do have any additional questions that you want answered by our panel, be sure to either send us an email. You can email marketing@Rakuten SL or connect with us on social media at Rakuten SL as well. Remember, we'll be sending this recording to you via email at the email provided. And we'll also send that holiday shipping dates calendar to you guys. That should provide some value during your holiday season. And that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Thanks, Carolina.
Thank you.